Ever make a decision that felt right in the moment, but later you're like, why in the world did I do that? Look, it's not that you didn't know better, you just didn't do better. Welcome to the Mindset Lab, where we turn insight into actions and patterns into progress. And if you're new here, I'm Coach Jose, and this channel is all about practical strategies to help you master your mindset, manage your energy, and perform at your best. And today we're talking about something that quietly shapes your life every single day: the decisions you make in the moment. Because your life isn't built on big choices, it's built on the small ones that you repeat. And the problem isn't that you don't know what to do, it's that in the moment, you default to something else. So let's step into the lab. Look, here's what most people think: I need more discipline. But that's not the real issue. The real issue is state. When you're tired, when you're stressed, when you're overwhelmed, your brain shifts into survival mode. And survival mode does not ask what's best long term, it asks what feels better right now. Uh, It's like trying to make a smart financial decision while someone is shouting in your ear. That's what stress does to your thinking. So here's the pattern: you know what to do, but in the moment, you don't do it. Why? Well, because there's a gap between what you know and what you choose. Remember, you don't fall to your intentions, you fall to your defaults. So, for example, you plan to eat healthy, but you're stressed, so you grab what's easy. You plan to speak up, but you feel a little uncomfortable, so you stay quiet. You plan to work, but you feel some resistance, so you scroll. That's the gap. Remember that your brain is built for efficiency, and one of the best ways it stays efficient is by creating default patterns. So instead of evaluating every situation from scratch, it just runs with what's familiar. It's kind of like autopilot. If you don't take control, it just follows the same route, even if that route isn't getting you where you want to go. So, how do you break this in real time? Well, not by trying to be stronger, but by interrupting the moment. And that leads us to the 10-second decision reset. Now, this is simple, but powerful. Now, our first step is going to be pause the pattern. When you notice things like, I don't feel like it, or I'll do it later, or this is fine just this once, don't act immediately. Pause, because most bad decisions aren't chosen, they're just automatic. Now, why does this work? Well, that pause gives your brain time to shift from reactive mode to thinking mode, from emotion to intention. Now, step two, ask one better question. Instead of, what do I feel like doing? Ask yourself, what would my future self want me to do right now? Now, why does this question work? Well, it pulls you out of the moment and into perspective, because your future self isn't stressed, it isn't reactive, it isn't chasing comfort. They are focused on outcomes. And step three, take a smaller action. Now, here's the key: don't go from doing nothing to trying to do everything. Just take one small step. So, for example, if you don't want to work, just do 5 minutes. Don't want to go to the gym? Just get dressed in your gym clothes. Don't want to speak up? Just say one sentence. You're not trying to win the whole battle. You're just breaking the pattern. And once the pattern breaks, momentum shifts. Okay? So let's say you're about to scroll on your phone instead of working. So the old pattern is, I'll just check for a minute. And then 30 minutes is gone. Now your new pattern would be to pause. Ask yourself, what would my future self want? And then just work for 5 minutes. Now what happens? You re-engage, you regain control, and you build momentum. And every time you do this, you're training your awareness, your self-control, your identity alignment. And that's not discipline. That's decision design. Look, you don't need to make perfect decisions. You just need to stop making automatic ones because small decisions, repeated consistently, shape your entire life. All right, so if this really resonated with you and you want something practical to use in those moments, I've created a tool called the clarity filter. It's a simple decision checkpoint you can use anytime you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure what to do next. It walks you through 3 questions that cut through the noise and help you take aligned action fast. And you can grab that in the link below. And if you want to take a deeper dive in this topic, check out this week's episode of the Personal Mastery and Growth Podcast. And if this helped, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it. And always remember, it is what it is, but it becomes what you make it. So make it great.